back at it again in Wall Market, gang.
With these babies, you can send intruders flying. I guarantee this is the only home protection you'll ever need.
Perfect gifts for friends and family are stuffed animal explosive devices.
Fuzzy Wuzzy.
Why not?
And
I guess.
Mr. Cuddlesworth.
I suppose I'll take a few. Why not? I probably shouldn't have done that. I don't have
Only
a lot of
few
money.
left. Get
I
yours
blew
while you can.
$3,000 on that hand massage.
Oh my gosh.
Why didn't you tell me you guys were gonna kick so much ass? Can I get your autographs?
Considering I just won her $1 million, I think
There
she
you
should give
are.
me a
I've
refund.
been looking for you two. So Madam M wanted me to give you a message.
A massage? No,
Says
thank
you
you.
guys did pretty damn good, and that you should swing by her shop when you're done here. Got it? I was also hoping you might be interested in a few more matches here at the Coliseum. Big events like the Corneo Cup are pretty sporadic, but there's always action if you want to get a piece.
I would absolutely love some more action, and in fact, you should do these. You should do these matches like right now. You should really do these matches right now, gamers. If you're playing along, you should really go back in there and do more matches, which we will do in a second. But anyway,
Congratulations on the win. You know, tonight's tournament is going down in history.
is it okay? Whatever you say, man.
Watching you win was so inspiring. It made me want to fight too.
You probably shouldn't.
Probably not.
Aerith, you were amazing. There's never been a female champion before.
Cloud like knee jerk just goes co-champion. She's like, what? Excuse me, Cloud.
Shuffle. I expected a few quits, but that was one surprise I never saw coming.
So again, like the game's barks are not working properly. These dudes all are like woohoo, but they don't trigger properly for some reason, and when they do, they all start overlapping. Sometimes the barks on this game do not work as intended.
Great job! Way to teach Corneo and Sam a lesson they won't forget.
Wow, I love you, man. Aerith, love you too.
Like you can hear some of them talking, and it's ducked. We can't hear what they're saying.
Yeah. We've seen that guy a couple times.
Yeah,
The, like,
there's only so many NPCs, unfortunately.
very pale guy.
Congratulations on winning the tournament. You're an impressive fighter. I know that you'll be a great influence on my Johnny. Why, you might even end up having a friendly rivalry.
Oh my
You can
goodness.
spur each other to greater heights. I can see it. You two will become great friends. The best of friends.
Johnny
tell you, I'm
has
exhausted.
Johnny's father has no evidence we've ever even spoken to Johnny.
I'll look for
I just want to
myself.
point out.
Oh, okay.
For now, though, I really should get some rest. And what's rest without a little relaxation for the
And
body,
from a purely technical standpoint, Cloud's never said one word to Johnny's father.
Oh, yeah. True.
This dude just won't shut up. So unfortunately, I did not actually put in the necessary legwork yet. One of the things we can get from Chadley, you have to use refocus twice to unlock one of his materia. We've only done it the one time so far, but we can get Item Master, which just increases the potency of items.
Okay.
Its base level is a 30% increase.
All right.
Just makes them a little
Not
stronger.
bad.
Yeah. So if no good to you in hard mode, but in a normal run, if you're trying to conserve MP and using healing items a lot, it does let you get a little bit more out of your healing items. But yeah, you want to go back in here and do these these secondary matches right away.
Damn, you guys are awesome!
So yeah, now we're finally actually hearing all their lines. You want to go back in and do these now, because once you check in with Madam M, Aerith is gonna stay behind to get fitted for her dress and some other
yeah.
stuff, and this is when the side quest chain kicks off. So you want to do these now while Aerith is still with you, because there are a couple of matches that are specifically for Aerith, and you want the rewards.
Okay.
You just sooner get him sooner rather than later. Anyway,
Right.
We haven't been in this menu, I don't think, since episode 3, maybe, if we've been in here at all.
Okay.
This is the enemy intel menu. You can see what enemies you have and have not assessed.
Okay.
And I forgot to assess the enigmatic specter, apparently. But yeah, you can go in here and you can look at 3D models of all of the enemies. I would come in here more often, but as you can see, on PS4, it takes forever to load one of these.
Yeah.
So it takes a minute. But anyway, you can get a little bit of a better look at the Hell House now. We go back around behind him where all of his engines are. The back wall is open and we can see inside. There's nothing in there except a bunch of mechanical arm, like, support
So
things.
where are the chairs?
Where are the chairs coming from?
Where
are the chairs coming from?
It's cannibalizing itself. It's
The
pulling up
people-
floorboards to make chairs.
The people of Wall Market demand answers, Don Corneo. Where is the Hell House getting the chairs? But yeah, that's one of the crazier fights in the game, at least in terms of, like, you know, just the raw wackiness, the unexpectedness of it. And yeah, like I said, I did it really slowly because I was trying to show off so much of it. But I have that's a difficult fight your first time through because it's got so much stuff. Do you think tonight's champ could take on a soldier and win again? Cloud is wearing like 50% of a soldier uniform.
Great.
You want to take me up on my offer now? Cool. Then I'll see you down below.
Cool.
I'm headed down there now. The three attendants we were talking to at the gate, they do have dialogue before the tournament as well, but it's not interesting. It's just like, you know, sorry, sir, competitors enter over there. Like, they all basically say the exact same thing. Was not worth talking to them. I do have some standards. I'm not trying to make this a 100-hour Let's Play. As slow as I am moseying through this game, some stuff does not get included. But yeah, so there are some other matches here, and more get added as the game goes on, but we will not, well, we could come back down here with just Cloud. Are you humming?
I was for a
Okay,
second.
all right, sorry, I was like, is that something ringing in my ear?
No,
What
it was me. I didn't even realize I was doing it until you stopped talking, and I was like, oh.
I apologize. It was really quiet, so it wasn't like, it was like not quite enough for me to tell if I was going crazy or not. You can come back here like much later in the game.
Okay.
But if you want to go ahead and get the rewards for the first couple of bouts now, I recommend going ahead and doing it now, because you can use them immediately. The main thing, I'm missing the door apparently. The door's on my left. I tried to walk out cool. I was trying to show that Aerith is incapable of walking through this room without knocking over the chairs. You gonna clean that chair up after yourself, Aerith?
No. We're champions. Why would we clean chairs?
I suppose you're right. You see all those bouquets they send us? They can clean up all the bouquets people send. Surely they can clean up those chairs. But so the main thing you really want to do these tournaments for is that they some of the rewards aren't that crazy, but there is pretty much everything. You can get a lot of unique stuff from here.
Okay.
The main really good thing that you want is you can get every character an additional limit break from one of their tournament bouts.
What are you in the mood to fight?
And pretty much all of their, so right there it says Legacy Ascension. That is another limit break for Cloud.
Okay.
Pretty much all the limit breaks you can get are just better, just stronger than the first level limit break. The trade-off is supposed to be that, like, if you use the normal one, a little bit of the limit gauge is left over. And if you use the strong one, it drains all of it. But it's not worth it. It's just use the strong one.
Yeah.
The reason I say not all of them are better, also, these fights are not necessarily balanced to where you would be at this point in the game. You're fighting the little basic rats from Sector 7. These fights are not that difficult.
You like two-hit that.
Yeah, exactly. I'm pretty sure I do that again right here, because I gave Cloud the ATB, like, you know, the ATB boost at start of battle materia. And if I use triple slash, it just hits everybody who's on the field. But anyway, so Blue Goo is a flying fish that we saw on like the scaffolding under the plate section, and I claimed that there's only the one fight. So if you didn't assess them there, you missed them. I forgot you can find them here. So this is the only other place in the game that they spawn, though, I think, is in these matches.
Okay.
You can replay these matches though, and in fact, there are we will see in a minute here. There is an enemy who is otherwise a unique enemy who you can fight in the tournament matches here. So if you missed assessing them earlier, you can get them in one of these matches.
Okay.
You're mine.
Oh, you can summon in this fight?
Yeah, the parameters on what fights do and do not allow summoning are a little confusing. In Rebirth, it's like almost every single fight you're allowed to summon on.
Interesting.
You probably, a lot of the fights won't go on long enough to necessitate it, but they let you summon almost any time in the second game. But anyway, so when you're doing tournament matches, it doesn't let you use any items, so you gotta bring in healing materia to heal. It's more like how hard mode works. However, at the ending of every match, you'll notice over in the corner, it's about to say HP and MP restored by 50%. So you get a little bit of a heal by default after every single round.
Yeah.
Anyway, but we're already almost done. This is the only guy we got left to fight. So I used ATB boost L1 and R1 to instantly go from our 1 pip that we had at the beginning of the fight thanks to the quick start materia, and gave myself 2 right away. Arrow can be hard to use on flying enemies, and that's what they're usually weak to, because it's like wind. It doesn't hit immediately. It has to like explode a few seconds later. But if you slow him down with the counter, you can hit him pretty reliably with that. And here's Infinity's End, our new heavy damage on staggered enemies move.
Okay.
And that's that. Pretty easy.
Yeah.
This is why it is worth it to go ahead and do these right now. They don't take much of your time.
Very cool.
So this one, all of the limit breaks are good to use, like any time, obviously, because they do big damage. One of the advantages of the second level ones for Cloud, Barret, and Tifa is, in addition to doing damage, they also are basically a guaranteed raise the stagger gauge by a decent amount.
Okay.
So while if you just want to do damage, you want to wait until the enemy's already staggered. You can also use it as like an emergency.
Put them in staggered.
To force them in, if, for example, you're in trouble, if people are in critical health or whatever, and you need a second to breathe, you can use that. You won't do as much damage, but you can basically pause the fight if they're already staggered a good bit. Anyway, we're not doing a lot of interesting specking with any of this. I believe I give Aerith parry in this. Let me double check my notes. No, I did not. I gave her Deadly Dodge for this. So Deadly Dodge, you'll recall, is the move where, if you press attack after a dodge, it does kind of like a sweeping attack. For Cloud, he comes out of it rolling and sweeping his sword around. We saw Barret does kind of like a burst of explosions right in front of him. Aerith's is, for the most part, these specific technique materia are a little bit wasted on her. But in these fights where it's just her, it's worth it to go ahead and kind of show what they can do. When she has a Deadly Dodge on, the way that it works is if you attack right after a dodge, if there are enough enemies in range, she will throw out multiple different spells that hit multiple targets near her. They do have to be within a certain range threshold for it to work, but she'll do a wide sweeping spell cast, and it'll hit a bunch of different things around her. And so there we saw, I did the multicast of fire. It hit the 2 that were over there, but didn't hit the one near me because it was out of range. It was out of its effective range. Again, out of range of the Gorger here. But it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And you'll also notice, I have, she's got Elemental on, I don't know how normally Cloud, his sword, has ice chunks or fire chunks on it.
Yeah.
Same thing happens with her staff. Aerith can be a bit of an awkward solo fighter, but you can build her with good stuff, like hitting enemies with hitting all enemies in front of her with spells. And if people are weak to spells, then you can stagger them and give her a lot of room to breathe. And then she's since she's such a good spellcaster, you can do a lot of damage. And Sorcerer's Storm is great if you've got multiple minor enemies staggered and stacked up on top of one another. They're both still up, so if they're close enough, yep, we'll kill the other one.
Here it comes! Mind backing off a bit?
Yeah, I think I forgot to show off Deadly Dodge in this fight, unfortunately. I think I show it off in the next one.
Okay.
Plus, Oh no, I think I use it on these guys. Okay, I thought that the Drake was the next one, so I'd probably show it off in this fight. So yeah, if you let's see if she does it here. It's been a while since I've taped this, so I don't remember exactly what I do.
Feeling chilly? Gotta go for it now.
I'm not sure I've caught that feeling chilly line.
Yeah,
from her
everybody's
before.
got different everybody's got different quality of puns. Like Cloud just goes like burn or whatever. Barrett tends to have like longer things, like he casts lightning. He's like gonna make balls pop. And Aerith has much more like James Bond lines.
Yeah.
Feeling chilly? How shocking! Which is almost exactly a James Bond line
Yeah.
from Goldfinger. Yeah, I forgot to show off Deadly Dodge in this one, but oh, that's fine. Anyway, that's her parry. At this point, I was like, oh right, I put that stuff on her. I totally forgot.
Right.
So the way parry works is it's not like an action game parry where you block at the right time and it negates an attack or whatever. What it does do is it changes your dodge so that you move a little bit faster. She's doing the swing of her Deadly Dodge right now, but since there's not multiple targets, you can't really see like what's unique about it. But that animation she was doing after a dodge and attack is her Deadly Dodge animation.
This is gonna hurt.
Since I did not give her wind magic and I had the element set as Blizzard. This guy's not weak to Blizzard. This is a little bit of a difficult fight for her since I can't exploit his weaknesses. But it's not too bad. I think I also forgot to give her heal, so this was like I had to kill him kind of fast.
Uh-oh.
Go on! This is gonna hurt. We'll make it quick.
The nice thing about giving her like a wind elemental or whatever is that enemies who typically might be hard to hit with a wind or a blizzard because, you know, they're moving too much,
Right.
are easy to hit with her since they're ranged. Same thing with Barrett. But yeah, and
Gotcha.
since it was sitting still and I wasn't worried about my MP, we used our strongest blizzard on that guy.
Very cool.
Definitely overkill, but very fun to see. But yeah, so the way that parry works is it's you dodge while holding down the block button.
Okay.
And it will do light damage to any enemies that you run into. Like, not a lot to really be significant, but
Right.
it is like you can do an attack while still being in a defensive stance. And typically it moves a little bit faster than that character's normal dodge. So we've talked about how you don't get iframes on dodges in this game.
Right.
If you have parry equipped, you can sometimes dodge out of the way of something that you otherwise wouldn't be able to. And again, you're staying in technically a blocking stance.
Okay.
While you
While you're
dodge.
doing that.
Yeah. Aerith's is not the best to use. Is not the best person to have parry on. Tifa is the best.
Gotcha.
For reasons we'll see later. Okay, so for this one, just again because they're not super difficult fights, I gave Aerith kind of wacky stuff.
Uh-huh.
Hey, you asked for it.
Woo!
Yeah, so that's Sorcerer's Storm. That's her, you know, her little free, well, not free, you have to use ATB, but no magic points, you know, her AoE attack, which I really like. It's very useful. But the real thing I gave her that's wacky, other than, so this guy, he drank his little potion, so he can't be staggered anymore, but that's, you can see I'm doing a little bit of damage by hitting the guy with parry.
Uh-huh.
I also, I'm trying to, again, I don't remember like which fights I showed things off in because I filmed all this and edited it a while ago. Yeah, I'm trying to show off that parry can hurt these guys and can, you know, knock them out of attacks, but they got into low health and they drank the juice that we read about in the Beastmaster's description earlier, so they can't be interrupted anymore. But I did give her sleep, which we got a little bit ago.
I think you need more sleep.
Enemies that you put to sleep will wake up the second that you do any damage to them. But the good news is your AI companions know not to attack them when they're asleep.
Okay.
They'll like, okay, if the human player character has probably got something planned, so we'll back off from that person until the player character does something.
Nice.
So yeah, not great guys to try and show off parry against.
Yeah.
Doesn't really show off how it works. I think the next fight, I finally actually start using her correctly. I didn't do multiple takes of this part of the game.
Yeah.
Primarily because I just finished shooting Hell House like 8 times.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, I don't need
Okay.
to waste my time doing
Yeah.
this one again.
Was that the Beast guy?
He's called Corneo Lackey, but he sure looks a lot like the Beastmaster.
He's been demoted. He lost.
He's no longer the Master of Beasts. Who is he without being the Master Beast? It's like Shinra middle manager.
Yeah.
If he stops working for Shinra, who is he? Suddenly
just
he is no
man.
one.
Just a man.
He can't even be a middle manager anymore because he's not there. He's not middle managing anything. So I put Magnify on Sleep so I can hit multiple targets at once.
Okay.
No, none of them can do anything. So you can see the little picture underneath their meter shows like the effects of sleep draining.
Right.
Yeah, so you saw there I was attacking one person initially, but then I like held it down. I was hitting multiple targets, and here I'm gonna do her deadly dodge.
Okay.
If you're close enough and you use it, sends out 3 blasts and hits 3 targets.
Okay.
I think we're almost done.
Doing a really poor job of explaining myself because I should have like written down which fights I did what in, so this would have been
yeah.
easier for me. But whatever, it's fine. But
Now
yeah.
you know for next time.
Yeah. Well, there is no next time. Oh, you meant like for like another episode?
Yeah.
Like sure, yeah. I can try to remember a bit better. But that's like the main like I think tech that I was going to show off in this. I'm going to continue to use this type of stuff. Like you're going to see me using Sleep and Magnify on enemies to just like totally disable an entire group of guys during this fight.
Okay. I'm about to summon somebody.
Nah, I don't use any summons during these. They're just kind of overkill for these fights. You don't need
Yeah.
them. I mean, I guess, whatever, I could still summon and use anyway. But anyway, here is a unique enemy we fought a while back. You get the opportunity to assess now. The Huntsman, who we fought back in the Sector 7 plate right before Cloud, or rather the Sector 8 plate, right before Cloud jumped onto that train.
Okay.
After the initial bombing mission.
Yeah.
This was as we were being pursued by public security. This was the last guy who came after us.
Okay.
And we did not have the assess materia at that time, so we
Gotcha.
couldn't get him.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing too special about him. We've already beaten him before, so we know what to do anyway. And I don't know if he's been powered. I have to assume he's been powered up because we're doing a lot more damage than we were back then. But anyway, we've got magic spells, and we've also got sleep, which works on him, gets him to drop his shield, so he's
Great.
not that troubling to deal with now. Not much to say about this dude.
I mean, at least it's not bad stuff to say, you know?
Mm-hmm. Oh boy, what time is it?
5:20.
Joey is not yet out of End of Evangelion, which is why he's not here today. He's going to a theatrical revival screening of End of Evangelion. Which is pretty funny because a couple of weeks ago I dragged his ass to the Final Fantasy VII movie revival screening, which is not a good film. and now he's going with somebody else to see an actually really, really good, important Japanese animated film. Have you watched any of Eva or not?
No.
Okay.
A coworker of mine was telling us excitedly about the fact that Shrek 2 will be briefly returning to theaters.
Oh yeah, I did see about that. Okay, it's not even just 3. She just throws as many blasts as there are people, I guess, because she was throwing out 5 blasts
Nice.
for everybody. Yeah, Shrek 2 back
These
in
hands are
theaters.
rated E for everyone, says Aerith.
Exactly. Yeah, the deadly dodge is again. I think the strongest person to put that on is Barrett, but it is useful because for everybody else, like it is a short range immediately around them attack.
Yeah.
And Aerith can hit everybody omnidirectionally as long as they're somewhat close to her, which is
cool.
fun. Yep. Now the other ones do that. The Huntsman immediately got back in the fight. I guess he drank some of that juice that we ignored previously.
I'm sure he's fine.
But no, just out of curiosity, Aiden, do you know anything about Evangelion other than just like, cultural osmosis? Like, there's robots. Shinji, get in the robot.
Yeah, basically that's it.
Okay.
I
So-
guess we've talked about it a little bit.
So I'm not going to talk about any spoilers for the show or anything, but like the end of Evangelion is like essentially the finale of the show because
Okay.
okay, do you know anything about the final 2 episodes of the show?
No.
Okay, so the show ran out of money.
Great.
At the ending of its runtime. Like, while it was airing, it became a massive cultural phenomenon. But it was like, it was a single season new show, so it wasn't like the people
Right.
making it knew it was going to be a huge hit. And towards the end of the production, they were, there are cost-cutting measures all over that show. There are tons of instances of somebody, like, putting a hand or something else in front of their mouth while they're talking, so there could just be a still frame
Yeah.
for a minute. Or like lengthy stretches of, like, 30 or 40 seconds of characters standing in silence. Like it's like obviously being done to economize, but it'll be like a tense moment. Like one particularly famous one of like, wow, there's nothing happening is an extremely awkward elevator ride. It feels like it goes on for an eternity. There's just two characters standing there. But basically the final 2 episodes, they ran out of money and it descended into almost total abstraction. There are only a handful of sequences that are completed animation. It is largely like still images. There are some sequences that are like rough storyboards and sketches, and like abstract art with narration from the characters. There are a few sequences of completed animation in it.
That's wild.
The final 2 episodes are telling a story still, but they are pretty much. So this is the thing we got for that one. Refills the ATB gauge after using refocus. Great. So if you equip that accessory and you cast refocus, you instantly have 3 pips.
That's pretty cool.
Generally speaking, I would say it would be better to have an accessory that just makes you fill your ATB gauge faster. Sorry, not to fill your ATB gauge faster. Fill your limit gauge faster, because you can't use that until you filled your limit gauge anyway. And I would rather get it earlier in the fight and have refocus for longer than be able to instantly have a bunch of attacks when I use refocus. But anyway, if you want to use the new limit breaks you got, you have to go into the battle settings menu and set their limit break, because you can't choose it during the fight. You only have one equipped at a time.
Okay.
Aerith's, the reason I said most of them are better is because Aerith's is the only one that isn't just like a straight improvement over the previous move. It's a different move.
Okay.
Healing Wind heals everybody. Planet's Protection does not heal. It nullifies all physical damage for all party members for 1 minute.
Wow.
It doesn't make you immune to magical damage.
Okay.
And plenty of enemies use magical damage, even if they're not mages. Like a Shinra grunt throwing a fire grenade technically counts as magical type damage.
Okay.
But there are a lot of enemies where you can like, okay, I'm functionally invincible for the next minute. If you get that. So it can be like, you can't totally slack off when you're using that, because most enemies have at least a couple of moves that do magic type damage.
Right.
So that's the only one where you might go, I'd rather have the free group heal than the other. For Cloud Barret and Tifa, you just want their better. You just equip their better limit break.
Gotcha.
But anyway, so like the final 2 episodes of Eva. Oh, also, I think I stop and show it here. There is a poster for a Stamp live show or maybe theatrical movie up there. It's not popping in properly. It's Stamp riding on a camel. Yeah, there we go. Stamp and the Hidden Treasure.
Oh my goodness.
I want to go see a Stamp special. Thank you very much. I would like to go and see Stamp live on stage or in a movie theater or wherever. Even down here, people are excited about the match and clapping for us.
Wow.
Or maybe they aren't even clapping at us. Maybe they're clapping for the monster burgers. No, not right now. Thank you, though. So the last 2 episodes of Eva, like, they basically are like a deep dive on the main character's like mental state. And if you're tracking it, which is a little difficult to track, there is like a point made and the character makes an emotional breakthrough, but it does not progress or conclude the plot at all.
Great.
And people were really upset when it aired in Japan at the time. To the extent that they sent death threats to the studio.
Wow.
Someone like spray painted the entrance to the studio with a death threat. It's pretty bad. But first,
Cloud the Merc, I'm told you did a wonderful job helping the people of Sector 5. You have a very impressive work ethic. It's like they say, good things come to those who work. What goes around, comes around.
With Tifa, she gets different dresses depending on what you said you would like to see her in back in Chapter 3. Aerith doesn't get different styles of dresses. She gets a different quality of dress depending on how many side quests you did in Sector 5. If you didn't help anybody out, she basically calls you a bum and says you'll get what you deserve.
All right then. Let's get started.
Yeah. And she does not dress Aerith up as pretty. Doesn't do her hair. Doesn't give her makeup and stuff. So there's with Aerith, it's instead of different styles of dress, it's
experience the
quality
best what
of
this
dress,
town
quality
has to
of
offer.
outfit.
That really won't do.
Not interested.
Then maybe you can show the town what you have to offer instead. Which is to say, why don't you try putting those finely honed mercenary skills of yours to good use here in Wall Market? I have a few
The
little
dialogue
requests
choices that
you
we've
might
been
be able to
making
help out
since
with.
we got here are all related to what series of side quests you get here. You either get a request for tasks from Madam M, or a list of requests for tasks from Chocobo Sam.
Come with
Okay.
me.
Oh boy, I can't wait to see the dress.
The dress is part of it, sure. But we'll also need to do something about that plain Jane makeup and hairdo.
Stop dumping on her! Everybody in this town is being mean to Aerith.
Everyone really has been.
Well,
She's got.
I'll see you later, Cloud.
I love her hair.
She's
like,
wonderful.
Poke out your eyes.
I love her. So she said, don't peek or I'll poke out your eyes. However, if you're as immature as I think Cloud is,
you can go peek.
maybe if I move quietly, they won't hear me.
I thought I told you. No peeking.
I love
jeez.
the hair. Like, oh, I was just
Yeah.
fixing my. I was just.
Even though
fixing-
no one's watching.
You have a lot of nerve.
Oh my goodness.
I love that on the repeated inputs, he raises his hand, like, slower. Like, he thinks somehow that's gonna... Like, they're not gonna notice it this time.
How old are you?
I don't know. I
don't
have
know.
anime protagonist syndrome.
Barrett asked me earlier how old I was, and what are you, 20-something? And I said first. No idea what's going on. But yeah, so the final couple episodes of Eva, people were really upset about at the time. But by that point, the show was a huge hit, which is why there were death threats.
Okay.
So something that's like fairly common for stuff like that is like they released a movie. I forget what it was called. It was just like basically like an edit of the show.
Okay.
It was an edited, like, you know, cut down, fast forward version of the show. Basically just to get some extra money to fund a movie that was a true finale to the show.
Great.
And the movie is called End of Evangelion, and it essentially deals with the same themes that are already being discussed in we got a quest called Burning Thighs, by the way.
I saw.
And we got another quest that has the lady we met, Murray, back in Sector 5. Movie came out. End of Evangelion is extremely well regarded. It's like one of those. The imagery's everywhere now. It frequently shows up on lists of like most important animated films of all time. It's maybe not like in top 10 because, you know, animation's been around for a while, but it's very well regarded, pretty big deal. I'm a little bit jealous that Joey is going to see it in theaters, but it's also a movie like you wouldn't want to get drunk during because that's a movie that people are like. There's a short list in this world of animated films that you might make you throw up. But End of Eva's on it. But yeah, then that was the end of Evangelion because it was called End of Eva. Except that it wasn't the end because people wouldn't shut up about it.
Hey, I'm talking to you. I said they're good. Try one.
No, I don't want one of your buns, dude. Leave me alone.
The boss isn't gonna like that.
So do you know about the rebuilds of Evangelion, Aiden?
No.
Okay. So basically, okay, Eva's about a lot of things.
Okay.
It's got a lot. There are many things going on in Eva.
Interesting. Man
Stands
stands in
stands in darkness. Not a great view. I guess he just wants the solitude.
Yep, solitude it is.
Eva's about a lot of things, but at least at some level, it's about why it's bad to be an otaku.
Oh.
It's about a lot of other stuff, but that's a little bit in there.
Okay.
And you know, living your life to the fullest and moving on from things. and it's about a lot of stuff. So some people who are big fans of the show might be upset at me for like introducing that to you as like the core theme of Eva, but it's there. Then the show became the biggest propagator of otaku culture ever.
Oh, okay.
He's getting mad at us for not buying his buns now. Stop quick picking fights with customers, said the chef to the barker. Hold on, we're gonna pop into the gym here.
Great.
Here to work out? Put some muscle on that bony frame of yours?
Like, he doesn't have very visible muscle.
No, Cloud doesn't have real muscles. That's what all the fans said. He doesn't look nearly strong enough to carry that, fantasy sword around.
If you've got some time to spare, how about a little bit of fun? Want to try taking on one of our guys?
You're not serious, are you? Look at him. He's a scrawny little thing. I can snap him like a twig.
Now. I wouldn't judge this one by his muscle mass. What do you say, Cloud? If you want to give it a go, just let me know.
Okay.
So this is Wall Market, like I said, like really stood out in the original game. It was just like in the first place, a JRPG set in like a pseudo-modern setting.
Yeah.
Very novel at the time.
Yeah.
Then there's this lengthy section of the game. In the original game, there was no tournament.
Okay.
There's just a lengthy stretch of no combat.
Great.
Of side questing in this red light district and a bunch of different weirdos and different businesses. And this was one of the segments that people remembered a lot that was like, are they gonna like cut this or change it or like what are they gonna do? And one of the many weird things that you wind up doing while you're there is you get into a squatting contest at a local gym. And you gotta do that again here too.
Oh.
This is essentially a little QuickTime event minigame. The thing that makes it difficult is that you have to know the rhythm of the buttons to hit because the prompts eventually fade away. And every time that you successfully complete a squat, it gets a little bit faster. And you can't see the buttons anymore. The only thing you have to indicate timing is Cloud's movements. You'll notice that when it hits each point where you have to make an input, he freezes for a second. The idea is, if you're being optimal, you want to hit the buttons right on time. If you hit them right on time, you're squatting faster, and the point is to do more squats in 50 seconds than the other guy. However, if you hit them too fast, Cloud will stumble and fall over like Ronnie just did, and it takes a while to get back up, and whenever you get back up, your speed is reset to your starting speed.
You've got this, come on!
Not bad at all. Your form's looking good.
You can wait a little bit longer to hit the button. Like if you want, you can just wait until Cloud freezes to use that as your prompt of which button to hit. But if you wait too long, then Cloud's fatigue builds, which this one is too easy, and I don't think we see the fatigue system at all. But basically, what happens with the fatigue?
We're rolling.
Yeah.
Dude.
This dude's
great.
easy, and you only have to beat one to finish the side quest.
Okay.
But you can challenge more people at this gym, and we will.
Yeah.
Nothing to it.
This is a weird one because in the original game, you had few ways of like animating those basic polygon characters that we've seen.
How? How the hell did I lose to this scrawny little kid who looks like he doesn't even consume his daily recommended amount of protein?
Ronnie, you know it's all about quality, not mass. You're too quick to judge people by their build.
He's got a sleeper build, bro.
And your overtrained ego are the main reasons you lost to our bold challenger here.
Thanks for helping me teach my boys a valuable lesson. I'm sorry for dragging
I love how it's like soft and earnest his tone
We're
gets.
all one big family here at this gym. And now you're part of it. If you're ever up for training, our doors are always open to you. Let's work together to maintain healthy minds and bodies.
Okay. And then we all pose.
So,
And that was the Burning Thighs quest. Okay.
yes, but you can challenge Jay over there on the left. And after you beat Jay, you can also challenge Jules.
Perfect.
That first one, really easy, because they just want you to be able to beat the quest, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Wanna go, do ya? All right then, bring it on!
But these get like a good bit harder.
Cool.
But yeah, in the original game, because you had limited options of like how to like draw these, like how to animate these characters because they were so simple. One of Cloud's like emotes is that he would just start like if he was really like fired up about something, he would like squat a couple of times. Like he's got like excess energy that he's trying to burn off. You didn't see it like a lot, but later on there is a flashback to when he was younger. When he was a little peppier, and he does that emote a couple of times, and it's meant like it's a pantomime-y way to indicate, you know, he's fired up, he's ready to go, he's got nervous energy. But yes, if you hit the button a little bit too fast, if you can't quite follow the speed that you want, it causes him to fall over, and then you're squatting slow again. Don't know, Jay's passing me. And yeah, if you mistime your inputs, then you have to mash when it gets to one of those. And honestly, the fatigue system messes me up more than anything, not because like I gotta stop and mash a button, but because that'll pop up and it'll psych me out and I'll hit the next button too fast. The final challenge of this, I think I cut out all the takes where I failed, but I failed several times, and at least half of my falling over mistakes were due to the fatigue, like the grid coming back in because of fatigue, and I hit O too fast. Wahoo!
Could have just like not said that you cut out a bunch of takes. Just been like, and I did this
I could have
perfectly.
been. But
first try.
It's unfair that you guys are having all the fun. What do you say? May I have this squat?
I have to say it because I'm not a liar. I'm not gonna tell people I'm not gonna lie to people about what happened. Jules is hard.
Gotcha.
This will take you a minute.
Let's you and me work up a sweat.
He is so fast, and he has like a set number of times that he falls, and it's once.
Oh, great!
So if you fall and it's at bad timing and he's at full speed, like you're pretty much toast. I think if you have really good rhythm, you can fall in this one once and still beat him. But the other thing is, if you look up there, the clock's a lot longer now. We got a minute and a half on this one. So if you fall, like it's not like you can have a really, really good run for 30 seconds and then fall, but it's okay because you're ahead of him. You've like, if you build up,
he falls right here at the beginning, and that's it.
I think he might fall one more time, but it's like right at the end. I don't remember for sure, and it's not like totally set. There is an RNG element to it, but like the trouble is if he's at max speed and you fall over, it doesn't matter what kind of lead you have on him, he will get ahead of you.
Yeah, Jules, show that sissy how it's done. I believe in you. You are in.
But yeah, you'll see he also will get like fatigued and he'll get like hung up on something for a second. So that will slow him down. But when you overcome fatigue, that speeds you up even more.
Yeah. Oh, he is. He's down one more time. Oh no, Cloud is also down.
It's really good that we fell over at the same time though, because both of our speeds were reset, and I'm ahead of him. So it's like this is recoverable. There's only 21 seconds left. As long as I don't fall over again, I've got this one.
We're rooting for you.
Oh no! Oh,
well, he's not at max speed yet though.
Oh no.
Don't blow it. Just don't blow it, and you're fine.
Just don't blow it. It's easy. Oh no!
Wow.
It's fine. But you see what I mean? The fatigue, the interface popped up and I hit O too fast. It psychs me out.
Was never in doubt.
Was never in doubt with both of us going, oh no.
Yep.
Cloud knew you
No
had it.
idea how strong you really were. You truly are something, aren't you?
Listen up, everyone. We can be stronger, better. Let's hit those weights.
So he gives you the champion's belt, which is an accessory. If you at this point in the game, you're probably equipping accessories for like their special effects, but if you do want something that's just stats, like the bulletproof vest, increases max HP by 10% and increases strength by 5%.
And looks wicked cool.
looks great. You know, you can't underestimate the importance of style in a game like this.
Yes.
But yes, if you just want straight stats, it's not a bad accessory because you get to actually do something in 2 categories. Most accessories only give you the 1. But anyway, so a couple of interior spaces we don't really need to go into for the side quest chain we've been given. These are places that are their layout's pretty closely remade from the original game.
Ooh,
Whoa! this restaurant, we aren't required to come in here, but
it's nice looking.
Yeah, the other side quest would bring us in here. You do want to come in here anyway, though, because there is a unique jukebox track that you can collect in here.
Ooh.
Sing it proud. I'm pretty good, you know.
Dig a hole and throw me in. I'm already dead.
Jeez!
So the clothing store owner was like an actually pretty important NPC for how the side quest was originally arranged for getting Aerith the dress. In this game, you don't have to interact with him, but he is part of the other side quest chain you can get that more closely resembles how the original game went.
Not easy, but you gotta do what you love. And I love to sing. This is a new song of mine. Maybe it'll be that #1.
That voice actor sounds really awkward.
Yeah.
This NPC is pretty funny, because I bet most people don't remember him except for freaks like me. In the first town in Rebirth, that dude's dad is standing around selling his albums and talking about how he and his son had a falling out a while ago before he moved to Midgard, but now he's really trying to support his musical career. And he's just tucked away in a corner somewhere in the starting town, totally missable. And you might not even remember that his son existed, because neither of them have names.
Great.
Here is one of our other sick guys that we're not going to deal with in the side quest chain that we are getting. He is in the exact same spot that he was in the original game, stuck in the toilet.
Great.
Evangelion.
Because all that meat's sitting out on the counter.
Yeah, it's not great. So anyway, a good part of Evangelion is about like moving on.
Okay.
And it's trying to take its characters fairly seriously. The problem is that it massively popularized the tsundere girl as a trope.
Gross.
And even the paradigm of the one quiet shy girl and the boisterous redheaded tsundere.
Yeah.
Evangelion created it with two fairly nuanced characters, and then everyone stole it for 20 years and ruined anime forever by creating less interesting characters who were the same thing.
Great. And Mur and I perpetuated it.
Uh-oh. So there's a real problem with that show was a one and done thing, unfollow-upable. But that didn't matter because it made too much money.
Perfect.
The amount of EVA product placement, there's a whole thing that's you could, I don't know if you could do this anymore, probably you could, but at the height of its popularity, you could live in Japan off of nothing but EVA tie-in products.
Right. I think I've heard that comment made before.
It was so prolific. This kind of upset Hideki Anno, the director, because that's not really the point of the show. And they kept doing more crap, visual novels and mangas and spin-offs that played into the tropes that those characters had popularized and really flanderized them, and just stuff that had nothing to do with the original material.
Angel of the Slums strikes again. It even says so on the card.
Oh, don't be an idiot. The angel would never stoop so low as to steal from children. I'm telling you, I saw the real culprits.
You're saying there's multiple angels on the loose?
What? No, there's not.
Then the Angel of the Slums is their leader?
Hell no.
How can you be so sure?
How can you?
Uh-oh.
Oh, so you're the new merc looking for work in Wall Market. Maybe you can help us sort this out. Some criminals have stolen a shipment of donations bound for the Leaf House. The fiends.
The culprit is none other than the notorious Angel of the Slums. People worship her as some kind of folk hero, but there's no denying she's the one that done did it.
That done did it.
I mean, look at this calling card. The Garden Angle 3? Well, they must have meant to write Guardian Angel.
Oh, come on, Garden Angle. Listen to me. I guarantee this is not the work of the angel.
How can you be so
I
sure,
saw it with my own
Murray?
eyes. 3 shady-looking types.
I mean, yeah, obviously, other than the shitty calling card, but still.
Yeah.
Well, if you're so sure, then bring them here. Prove to me this wasn't the work of your beloved Guardian Angel.
You heard the man, Merc. I've got to find those thieves to clear the angel's name, and I need your help to do it. She would never, ever do anything to harm the less fortunate. Find the 3 I saw and bring them here to me. They ran off toward the old expressway on the other side of Evergreen Park.
This won't be the last time that I say this, but
The expressway's
remember
just
that whole thing
past
about, like,
Evergreen Park.
what a crazy night this was gonna be?
Yeah.
It just won't stop.
Catch themselves.
It really isn't. This has been or is this like a winter solstice or something? Like, this is a long night.
I mean, I guess from a purely technical standpoint, if we accept that this is happening in the real time of playing the video game, it's only been a couple of hours.
True.
It's just
true,
a packed
true.
couple of hours. I guess I should also comment what determines like all the dialogue choices. So there's like basically secret values of either you get Chocobo Sam gives you tasks or Madam M gives you tasks. And the general like rule of thumb on what gets you what is how womanizing you are for the most part.
Okay.
So like if you go like Tifa looks great, you get Sam points. If you're a feminist and you will not talk about her physically and say she's great at the books, then you get Madam M points. When Johnny's like, dude, bro, you know what it's like to be standing outside of outside of the showgirl's place, you know? And you're like, no, I have no clue what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And also there's the more direct stuff, like if you pay Madam M a lot of money for her course, you get more points for her. If you participate in the coin flip game at all, then you get Sam points.
Oh.
Anyway.
And all it took was one fake card. Too easy.
Sucks to be you, Miss Angel, but we're stealing your name and all that sweet loot.
They've already moved on.
Hey guys, I got a question. What's a guardian angel?
Oh, come on, dumbass. Everyone knows that. It's someone who steals from gardens and shit.
Yeah, dumbass. You ought to try cracking a book sometime. Get you some learning.
Oh my goodness.
Oh wow, I get it. You guys are real smart. But wait, why angel?
Well, guess we better get ready to kill these guys again. At least we know what we're walking into.
Yeah, that's true.
I guess not kill them, excuse me, to fake kill them.
To give them an opportunity to
play
practice
dead.
playing
Exactly. To practice their special techniques.
They dancing? They were wiggling back there.
They were just excited.
Shit! Play dead! Play dead! Shut up! It's too late for that! Bring it! We're ready for you this time! Wakey wakey! Time to shine!
Oh, he's got the juice. Whoever this guy is, he was drinking it straight through his mask.
Check out this brick shithouse. We picked him up at the Coliseum. Gonna pay you back double, nah, quadruple for what you've done to us.
What's a druple? What are we doing?
Shut up! We're kicking Blondie's ass for being an ass!
Okay.
You know, guys, I don't think you want any of this.
Burn.
So Grungy Bandit, new guy they picked up here, is actually quite a bit stronger than they are.
He's pretty big, yeah. He's taking some hits.
Yeah, we go ahead and assess him. I don't have the steal materia on me, but if you'll notice down in the corner, we can steal another champion's belt from him.
Interesting.
It's something I didn't mention. In addition to it, being, a decent accessory, it looks really cool, and that's not just for looking at it in a menu. It's worth a lot of money. You can sell that for several thousand gil. So if you wanna get, I think it's like, I don't know. I don't remember. It's a couple thousand gil. But if you steal another one off of him, you can make a lot of money pretty quick.
Wow.
You can also sell the one that you got from from the squats if you don't want it.
That feels incorrect.
That feels incorrect.
Feels like a waste.
Anyway, got another enemy staggered, so Chadley will have a shiny new toy for us soon.
New bauble.
Let's get this over with.
See ya.
You're coming with me.
Found them pretty quick.
Yep. Oh, actually, no, it's not that part of the song. Hold on.
These are the angels of the slums?
There it is.
Oh man, you're real stupid! We're the guardian angels! Get it right!
Shut your trap, moron!
Huh. You don't honestly think that the beloved angel of the slums could be any of these three idiots, do you?
Nah, I recognize the masks. These guys are just small-time crooks who've been pestering folks around here for a minute. Should've listened to you earlier. Sorry about this.
Well, you should be sorry. I'll consider us square, once you've taught these boys a lesson.
Deal. All right, get moving.
Hey, watch it! Not so rough, you lummox! Yeah, you lummox, you lummox!
So what about the donations? Do you need help taking them to the Leaf House?
Kind of you to offer, but I can manage on my own. I know these streets like the back of my hand. Better even.
Well, good.
It's the angel of the slums! She took the darn stuff! He's gonna be pissed!
Well, I'll be seeing you. Thanks to you, we can put this mess behind us.
Okay, Silhouette, whatever you say.
Mm-hmm.
She disappears like smoke.
The guardian angel of the slums. Radiant defender of the downtrodden? Huh. Wonder if I'm an accomplice. That's enough of that.
Who could the angel be? Who could it be? Anyway, let's go down to our key items. We can see the calling card. Merc, thanks for catching the imposters and clearing my name. This is a token of my appreciation. The guardian angel of the slums. But also, right above it there, we have a fake calling card. We are the Garden Angle 3. This belongs to us now. Garden Angle 3. What I want to point out here is that they actually got the calling card, like, they went to a professional stationery, like, printer place, but they got the colors flipped. Instead of gold and white, they got brown and gold, and it's all crumpled up. The design's a little wrong. But they must have had a reference because they got it really close.
That's hilarious.
Damn, man. I looked away for a second. That shit belonged to the Don himself, and now it's up and vanished.
No vanishing act here, just petty theft. Check this out. The angel of the slums hereby bequeaths your riches to the poor.
So, depending on whether you do M or Chocobo Sam, you get two side quests. One of them is always Burning Thighs. And then the other one is either what we just did with Murray, or the quest I keep talking about that's like much longer than what we just did for Murray, because it's kind of like it's like the it's the recreation of what you originally did in Walmart, basically. As originally you didn't do this whole rigmarole with Madame M and you didn't do the tournament, you just like basically you went around town and did favors to find like components for a dress. And you had to do a bunch of different tasks all around town, including the squatting thing, because for whatever reason they had stuff that you needed too. It's kind of part of the joke. Is
the belt.
Everybody in town has something that you need. And once you beat Burning Thighs and whatever the other quest is that you have, then you also get an exhibition tournament match, which is different depending on which quest line you're doing.
Okay.
Well, everybody, it's Editing Jacob here, cutting into this episode, because I kind of screwed up the commentary at the ending of this one. Didn't lose any footage or audio like I so often do. Or maybe not really all that often. It just seems often to me, really stands out in my memory. But basically, I loop back around to the conversation about the rebuilds of Evangelion, and knowing that Aiden is never going to watch them, I got into I thought I was being careful, but upon listening to the recording, I was like, nah, I talked about some spoiler stuff some people might not appreciate hearing, so here I am, creating new commentary. Like talking about this ATB stagger materia. Neat little mechanic, does what it says over there on the side. You get a little bit of just extra ATB for free when an enemy is staggered if you have this equipment. If it's leveled up, you get a lot. It's a really good way to be able to take advantage when you stagger an enemy to make sure you've actually got ATB to be able to hit him with big attacks.
All of your future battle intel submissions.
It's actually just as well that I am back re-recording this because Aiden and I's conversation kind of went on a little bit too long, and during an upcoming fight, I failed to actually talk about mechanics when I wanted to talk about them, because I still have to show off how the parry materia works when it's equipped to Cloud. This fight does not call for a terribly complicated setup. This is just another Shinra robot. It is a unique one, so you'll want to assess it, but it's not that crazy. Make sure you got some lightning. You'll probably be fine.
Here he is, the man of the hour. Stands are packed thanks to you. Now get out there and give him a show. This challenger wanted another bite at the champ. One of Sam's favorite machines of mayhem, Cuddy! He's been sharpening his blades and dreaming of payback. Can our champ come out on top again? Fighters, begin!
Mr. Gatekeeper doesn't have quite the pizzazz of Koch and Scotch. Doesn't even have his own name. But anyway, as discussed previously, parry works where if you are holding down the block button and you hit dodge, your character does a faster, snappier dodge. But it's particularly interesting on Cloud, because if he's in Punisher stance, as he is right now, you can now dodge without dropping Cloud's Punisher stance. Didn't really get to see it there because I got interrupted. But you'll see Cloud dodge here in a second, and he's still going to be in his parry stance afterwards instead of dropping it like dodging usually does whenever you are in you're in Punisher. It's pretty interesting for a lot of reasons. A second ago there, you saw me dodge away from the enemy, while in Punisher right there, I close distance on the enemy without dropping Punisher, and I go straight into the Punisher string. So it's a great mobility option that makes Punisher a little bit more usable without having to sit through the startup animation for Punisher. Though, obviously, as we, again, just saw there as it starts up, the thing that's great about Punisher in this game that they ruined in Rebirth is that even if you're still in the startup animation for it, if you are holding down the defense button, Cloud will counter even on like the first frame of the startup animation of Punisher. It's fantastic. Ooh, it feels so good in this game, and they messed it up in the sequel. But anyway, this guy, like I said, might want to go ahead and assess him. He might be in one of like Chadley's VR Funhouse challenges later on. I don't remember. But you know, why risk missing him? Why not just go ahead and assess him while you're here, and then hit him with Infinity's End, our new 2 ATB required move for an excessive amount of damage. Like I said earlier, parry is most useful on Tifa, but we'll see that in upcoming episodes.
Our champ stands victorious once more! Cloud wins! Cuddy's quest for sweet revenge has ended in bitter defeat!
And that's the last you'll hear from Editing Jacob for now. Gonna go ahead and shut up during this next cutscene, and then at the end of the cutscene, we're gonna throw it back to the Jacob and the Aiden of the past.
Very nicely done. Here's your cut. You earned it.
Wait, you're here? What about Aerith?
My people are working on her hair right now. I thought I'd take the opportunity to drop by and watch her match. I have to admit, I never get tired of seeing Sam's precious toys take a beating.
All right.
I can tell by your hands you've come a long way. They're the hands of a fighter who has found new purpose. A woman. Or two? I wonder.
Just doing what I've always done.
Anyway, Aerith should be finishing up soon. I'll go on ahead to check on her. Whenever you're ready, come back to the parlor.
So, this whole time that we've been doing all this mess, Tifa's just at the, like, Don Corleone's mansion or whatever.
Don Corneo's mansion, yeah.
Corneo.
She's,
I'm sorry.
No worries. Very different character. But no, yeah, she's just presumably been there this whole time.
Okay. Are we, like, worried about that?
The idea, I think, is that the whole point is we're trying to get involved in, quote, the audition. He picks a girl. So presumably nothing can happen to her until the audition happens, and we're trying to get Aerith in so that she can infiltrate and go and help.
Presumably that has not started yet.
Yes.
Okay,
because we're trying to get Madame M to put her in as the candidate for the evening. So that Aerith can go and help Tifa out. She's got some backup. But anyway, sounds like Aerith is ready, so we'll go check on her on the next episode.
Sounds good.